These are smoked, dried, homegrown paprika peppers. I'm going to show you how I took them from looking like this when I first harvested them to being dried, smoky, and ready to be ground into a smoky paprika powder. After cutting the paprika peppers in half and removing the seeds, the first thing I want to do is get them onto the grill. I use a charcoal grill, so here I'm getting my coals lit in the chimneys, and then I can get started. I use indirect grilling, which means the peppers were not directly over the hot charcoal. I wasn't trying to cook them, I just wanted to get them nice and smoky. Once the peppers were all laid out on the grill and the charcoal was ready, I went ahead and added the wood chips. I had them soaking in water for about 20 to 30 minutes prior to using them. I shook off the excess water and sprinkled them right onto the hot coals. I made sure to shake them well because the last thing I want to do is sprinkle a bunch of water on my hot coals. On this day, I was using hickory wood chips, and as you can see, I also had a wood chunk, which was apple wood. I like the hickory and apple wood combination, but hickory by itself gives it a delicious smoke flavor. Since the lid is still open, the wood is starting to flare up, which is perfectly normal. So I'm closing the lid here and I'm choking off some of the air supply so the smoke can get going. Once I do that, the smoke gets going and it's a waiting game. I'm monitoring the temperature, and occasionally what I'm going to do is go in and add more wood to keep the smoke going. Since I only had one wood chunk on this day, I'm relying heavily on the wood chips to give it the smoky flavor. So after about 5 to 7 minutes, I went in and added a second round of wood chips. If I had more than one wood chunk, I might have waited a little longer. The temperature is a little lower now, which is great. And as you can see, the smoke got going pretty well. I might have gone in one more time and added another round of wood chips, but at this point, it's time to get the peppers off the grill. Remember, we put these peppers on the grill only to give it a nice smoky flavor. We weren't trying to cook them, so they're not going to be as soft as peppers you grilled just to eat. I could have left the peppers on for longer, but honestly, they wouldn't get much more smoke flavor. Paprika peppers are pretty thin-walled peppers, so the smoke penetrated in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes, and after that, it's not really doing more. After taking them off the grill, I took them inside the house and put them directly into the dehydrator so the drying process can get started. With this batch, I ended up with enough peppers to fill up 2 dehydrator trays. I set the dehydrator temperature to 125, and it took about 20 hours before they looked like this. Completely dry and crunchy. I still have a ton of paprika peppers growing that I'm waiting to ripen so I can do this process over again, maybe even a few times. Once I'm done smoking and drying all of my paprika peppers, then I'm going to grind them into a powder and I'll have my very own smoked paprika powder. I'm going to follow this same process for some of my other peppers, some of them sweet, some of them hot peppers. Last year, I didn't grow paprika, but I did grow a ton of poblano. So I let them ripen and I did this same process. And for like the last year, I've used smoked poblano powder as my paprika. There are no limits, and I hope you'll try it.